Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in his book, which is the best of speech. He says, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu attaqullaha haqqa tuqatih wa la tamutunna illa antum muslimun. He says, O ye who believe, Yeah, you have that green arm to the believers. He says, fear Allah as he should be feared in truth. In truth. And die not accept as a submitter. Die not accept as Muslim. One who submits to the will of Allah. That's the kind of what God speaks to the believers. It's why تسيموا بهدي الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا واذكروا نعمات الله عليكم إذ كنتم أعداء خلاف بين قبلكم فأصبحتم بنعمته أخوانا وكنتم عليها كفرات من النار فأنقذكم منها هذا ليبين الله لكم آياته لعلكم تهتدون. And hold fast together, all together, to the rope of Allah, and do not separate. And remember Allah's favors upon you, for you were enemies, and He made you friendship between your hearts. With His favor, you became brethren, and you were on the brink of the abyss of fire, and He saved you from it. Thus does Allah make clear His signs to you, so you may be guided. In Alhamdulillah, نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستعين من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده إلى فهو المهتدي ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا Verily, all praise belongs to Allah. We seek His help, we seek His forgiveness, and we seek refuge with Allah from the mischief of our own soul, that which is inside of us. And he who Allah guides cannot be misguided, and he whom is left without guidance, he shall find no protector or no one to guide him aright. I openly bear witness without shame nor doubt that there is no God but Allah, and He has no partners. I bear witness that Muhammad bin Abdullah is the final prophet, messenger of Allah. Today, we are going to speak briefly on the last time we came before you. We spoke about, we're going to go through for this month of Ramadan, inshallah. We want to cover the 5 pillars of the Deen of Islam. We spoke on the Salat the last time. This time we're going to step into the Zakat. We're going to step into Zakat. You know, and when we spoke the last time, we covered some ayat in the Quran, and we covered some hadith. And we saw that, we see that oftentimes when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks of the salat, He also speaks of charity. He puts those two together oftentimes. They're almost inseparable. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says here in Quran, for example, in Surah An-Nur, ayat 56, He says, so establish regular prayer and give regular charity and obey the apostles that you may receive mercy. In Surah Nahl, He says, the believers are those who establish regular prayers and give in regular charity and have full assurance of the hereafter. Allah does speak the truth. The Prophet said in talking about the charity, he says this in the hadith, narrated bin Abbas, He says, the Prophet ﷺ sent Mu'adh Radiallahu anh to Yemen. And he said, invite the people to testify, La ilaha illallah, and that I am the messenger of Allah. And if they obey you to do so, then inform them that Allah has enjoined on them 5 salat in every day and night. And if they obey you to do that, to do so, he says, then inform them that Allah has made it obligatory for them to pay the sadaqah of the zakat from their properties, and it is to be taken from the wealthy among them and given to the poor among them. Now, sadaqah, whatever is given in charity, it's called sadaqah. If we address the language, the idea correctly. To give in charity is sadaqah. Now, zakat is a special type of sadaqah. See, it is a specific type of sadaqah. And the zakat is a certain fixed portion, 2.5%, that is attached to the believers. It says the wealthy, but it also goes for those who are able. It is attached to those who are able to give to the poor or those who are unable. There's a certain amount. It can be your earnings, it can be your property, what you may have. It's a form of tax. And it is for the purpose of helping those who are in need. The payment of the zakat is obligatory. It's one of the 5 pillars, as we just read. Prophet ﷺ said. So it is obligatory. It must be done by those who are able, for those who are unable. And the zakat is for 8 types of people. Number 1, the fuqara. That is the poor who do not beg. Then it is for the al-masakin, or the miskin. That's the poor who do beg. It is for those employed to collect the funds. For the person who, see, in the Islamic society, there's a tax collector, man who collects the zakat. He goes around and collects the zakat. So he's preoccupied with this. So you have to give him something so that he can earn a living, so he can be taken care of. It is also given to attract the hearts of those who have been inclined towards Islam. Say, if a person comes to the deen, he's been attracted to the deen, and he may come poor, he may come unable. So, and he wants to come back. He wants to embrace this deen, but he's torn between providing a livelihood for himself and coming. So the zakat has been earmarked to help those who are in need. Brother, come in, you need something, we go into the zakat fund. Make it easy. Make smooth and easy his path on the path of righteousness. Make smooth and easy his way to Siratul Mustaqim. Inshallah. It is also given to free the captives, to free the slaves. Those who, during the time of the Prophet ﷺ, we know that slavery was still practiced heavily. A lot of people say Islamic slavery. There was no Islamic slavery. What is Islamic slavery? The Arabs were practicing slavery along with the other peoples of the world, Africans, Europeans, whomever. They were practicing slavery way before the Prophet Muhammad was given the Nabuwah. So when the people embraced Islam, they still have slaves. And people say, we hear from those misinformed and misguided, they say that, yes, the Muslim slavery, the Islamic slavery. See, but that is incorrect. Islam Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this book, the Quran, Allah enjoins on the believers over and over and over, free the slaves, free the captives. If you make a mistake, to make up for that, to pay for that, it says free a slave. If you're unable to fast, free a slave. You see, Islam came to exonerate, to give freedom to the slaves. But it says here the zakat was used for that purpose. If there was a slave who was a captive who wanted to embrace the deen and he was being held by idolater, pagan, Catholic, well, then they would go into the zakat fund and get the money up and go buy him, go pay for his ransom, so that he could come and be free amongst the people, or mercy. Now, free the captives. Slavery's been banned, but there are people who in certain situations may not be that physical slavery, but they may be bound down by poverty. They may be bound down, they may be even in the jailhouse. See, we can dip into the funds, get brother out, you see, inshallah. But we must have the fund, we must have the zakat first. There's also for those in debt. There's no need for the Muslim to be in this Jamaat, with people having abundance. That's the kind of why Allah has blessed us with an abundance. The brother get put out of his house. The sisters get put out of the brother and his sister's family get put out of the house. The lights get cut off. The folk come get the car. You see, that's what it's a car for those in debt. See, that's why we have to be serious about that. We need to have that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prescribed this for us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is al-alim, the all-knowing. This is why he prescribed. He said, and it's for those who fight in the last cause. During the time of the Prophet they were selling, and the believers were oftentimes in the Gazawat, they fought battles. Well, the zakat fund was to finance the army, was to get arms and food and whatever we may need to travel and to support the mujahideen. And zakat for that eighth person is for the traveling wayfarer. Somebody's passing through, they get stranded. Or they haven't been stranded, but they're passing through. That's hardship. Travel's a hardship. During the time of Prophet, it was a great hardship. There were no cars and airplanes. But still today, with all this technology, people still have hardships in their travel. We see now, on the southern border of the United States, we see people coming from other lands, from South America and Central America, and they're traveling, and there's a hardship. Families are being separated. I was watching the news last night, and they picked up a young kid, and he was crying. They said he's terrified, and we can see the terrified look on his face. He and his mother were traveling together, and they were turned around at the border. They were pulled from the beginning. They were turned around at the border, and when they got turned around, they were going back, some people kidnapped them, held them for ransom, told them, got in touch with their uncle who was here in the United States somewhere, and told him, said, we need $10,000, $5,000 for each one of them. He only could come up with $5,000, so they let the little boy go and kept him up. You see, there was a hardship they were traveling through. There was a hardship on this guy. He didn't have enough money to ransom his family. But see, that's why we have the zakat. Muslim, that's why we have the zakat. But we have to reach out to people who need it. See, but we've got to get it up first. We've got to make sure that we get serious about paying the zakat. It is obligation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to the believers in Surah Al-Ma'idah in the first ayah, he said, O ye who believe, fulfill all obligations. Inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we're going to go to the Quran. See what Allah says in his book about the zakat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Nur, as I had read before, he says, so establish regular prayer and give regular charity and obey the apostle that you may receive mercy. In Surah Muhammad, ayah 38, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us concerning the zakat, he says, behold, you are those invited to spend of your substance, spend of that which you have been provided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to spend of it in the way of Allah. But among you are some that are niggardly. Miserers. That's what niggardly means. Niggardly means miser. You a niggardly, they said they had nothing to do with race. It's not that. It's not that. Disgusting appellation that we hear. It had nothing to do with that. But a niggard would be one who was tight with his money. But Allah says, among you are some who are niggardly. But any who are niggardly are so at the expense of their own souls. But Allah is free of all wants. And it is you that are needed. If you turn back from the path, he will substitute in your stead another people, and they will not be like you. See, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, he says, you are invited to spend in the way in the cause of Allah. But then he says, among you believers, there are some who is tight with the purse strings. You see. There's some who don't want to give nothing. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, you do that at your own expense, at the expense of your own soul. See, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, you can't spend nothing. He don't increase it or multiply the increase. You see. And if you disobey what Allah has enjoined on you, then you're risking your own soul. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in that ayah, he says, but Allah is Al-Ghani. He's Al-Ghani, the one who is rich. He is the one who is free of all wants, all needs. He has no needs and no wants. He is the one who is rich. You know, we see the people, they tell that billionaire, that's nothing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is free of all wants. He says, Allah is telling him, he says, you can be tight if you want to. You know, I'm asking you to give for your benefit. Yeah, it's not going to Allah. Not going to. I remember one time, they in my own, I'm from Southwest Georgia, and they would have people come around, usually in the summer, the traveling. They say some of them say they're evangelists, but I don't like to even give that title to them because they didn't meet up with what I thought was evangelist. They were charlatans. And a friend of mine was telling me one night they had a board. They went to the thing and they had a board. My mom didn't let us go to that too much. It was hard for us to get out of the house and go somewhere. Because the people was playing games. But they had a board, and the guy said, all the money you throw up on this board, see, it was like a bell or something. He said, whatever stick up here, go to God. Whatever slide down, that ain't, whatever slide down that pit, that go to us, go to the church, we're going to work together. You see what I'm saying? Allah is free of all one. He don't need nothing to stick to no board. See? Woe be to those who have been alive against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. But Allah says, some of us are tight with the bread. It's time to give. I read a hadith, and it may have been a Qudsi hadith. I think it was a Qudsi hadith. Well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was speaking. Allah said, when you go to give, your heart is moved toward sadaqah, toward charity, toward the zakat. He said, your heart is moved, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to you, you move about that. You say, I'm going to give. You see, and then by the time you get it in your hand, your pocket, and get up to drop it off in the box, your heart begins to waver, you see, and you was going to give 100, but now you're looking around and you see a lot of people giving. I don't necessarily need to give no 100. I'm going to give 50. I'm going to give 20. The last kind of what I was saying, the essence of that hadith was, don't be like that. Don't let your heart waver. If you have already been inspired by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's put in your heart to give. But by the time it's time to give, we started faltering. We started thinking about how we could, I ain't even got to give that much. You see. However, the other believers who people are giving, they see somebody give 100, they ain't got the 20. They say, man, I wish I was able to give the 100. Alhamdulillah. See, we're gonna be like somebody. If we want to be, we want to be like somebody. Be like those who give in the cause of Allah. See that as far as us looking at other people and wanting what they have, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbids that amongst the believers. He said, don't look at other people and desire what they have. Only 2 instances. If you look at the person who has knowledge of the Quran and the Sunnah, he has that knowledge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he uses that knowledge, he spreads, he disseminates, he teaches, and he lives by the knowledge. He said, you can want to be like him. Or you look at a person who Allah has blessed with riches, he has blessed him with money, with material goods, but he uses that in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he just gives. You can want to be like him. See, not the one who got the money and holding on to it, but the one who got the money who was free with the spiritual. Last year, I think it was doing Ramadan. Last year, I think, and there was a brother. I didn't know him, but I was over. I think at Messenger John, and every time they say, "We want to give, today we want to take up a little money for such and such and such." They say, "Who want to start out with $5,000?" Every time he started out with $5,000, and then before it was over, he gave some. And I was saying, wow. I had $2-3 here or there. Wow, I sure would like to be able to do like him, And at the end of it, his son stood up. And like I said, I didn't know the brother or his son. I've seen him at the masjid. The brother was very humble. I ain't know the brother had money like that. The brother was very humble. What did my brother say to me? In our standards. The brother was well blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the brother was very humble with it. I didn't even know the brother was like that. I can't find the brother was a doctor or something. Allah had blessed him with abundance. And he knew it. He was blessed with a lot of abundance. So he gave in abundance. And his son said, during the course of this Ramadan, he said, my father has given up $90,000. I said, alhamdulillah. I wish I was able, but alhamdulillah. Allah gives what he wills to whom he will, how he will, when he will. And it's up to us to utilize that in the cause of Allah. That's why zakat, the charity, the sadaqah, is made obligatory upon the believers. I'm going to read to you from the Hadith al-Bukhari. The Prophet ﷺ said, then we'll bring this first part of the khutbah to a close. We're not going to be very long today, inshallah. Allah knows best. Narrated Harith bin Wahb. He said, I heard the Prophet ﷺ saying, yeah, Nas, O people, he said, give in charity, as a time will come when a person will wander about with his object of charity and will not find anybody to accept it, And one who will be requested to take it will say, if you had brought it to me yesterday, I would have taken it. But today I'm not in need. The Bible said there's going to be a time come when you won't even find anybody to take the zakat. Allah knows best what the man this is, but I take it as that everybody be doing well. See, you'll be in a situation where you won't find those people who will be in need. But you will be needing to give, and you will be wanting to give in charity, the giving is zakat for the barakah that is involved. People will be seeking, will be glad to give their money up for the barakah, but it'll be a little bit too late. You should have been giving it all the while. See, there'll come a time, the Prophet said, what Solomon said, when the door will be closed on the zakat. See, so give not. Narrated Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu. The Prophet said, the hour of the day of judgment will not be established till your wealth increases so much that one will be worried, for no one will accept his zakat, and the person to whom he will give it will reply, I didn't give while you can, because the day is coming. And truly, Allah's message speaks truth. Narrated Abu Hurairah, radiallahu anhu. He says, a man came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he asked, Ya Rasulullah, which charity is the most superior in reward? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied, the charity which you practice while you are healthy, while you are niggardly and afraid of poverty and wish to become wealthy. He says, do not delay it to the time of approaching death and then say, give so much to such and such and such and such and so much to such and such and such and such. He said, because by that time it already belongs to him. See, you're finna die anyway. They're gonna get it anyway. You're finna die anyway. He said, they'll be your heirs. He said, by that time it already belongs to him. He said, the best charity is to give that charity while you up and you are healthy, while you are up and you are tight. When you feel yourself tight. See, I check myself. I get tight. You know. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides us in this message. He said, check the heart. He said, oh, check your heart, check your heart, check your heart, check your heart. That's what we're doing in the month of Ramadan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not in need of our food or our drink. You see, He is in need of our piety. How do we attain piety? How do we bring our piety up to an acceptable level, a level that we hope is pleasing to Allah? We have to check our hearts. You see. So I'll check my heart. Sometimes I see the people, the al-Nasakin, the miskin that we talked about, the second of the poor people who the charity is for, those who beg. Sometimes I give them something, you know, out the window or something, I see them and I pull off and I say, man, I should have gave more than that. I wish I would have gave more than that. Then I check and look at my little money and see, you know. I get in the car, sometimes I get to the light, then I'm fumbling, trying to get the money out, and the light change. Big boy, I got to go. So I say, I check myself. I have to check myself. When I get some change, I go to the store, I say, oh, yeah, wait a minute, I can put all this money in my pocket. I need to put some on the console. Somebody's going to be needing something. See, I have to bring myself to that point. I have to check my heart. You see, I have to bring myself to that point. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, you can't give nothing if He don't reward you. He multiplies tenfold, 70-fold, 70,000 times. You see. So you know, we have to be on top of that. There's a time when we are going to be tight, when we're afraid of poverty, Of course, the Prophet said, don't give so much now till you get broke. So now you got to beg somebody. He said, use logic, use common sense, use good sense, and follow the sunnah of the Prophet because it is his sunnah. He told her, he said, don't give so much that you in turn become the better. Know your limits. You see. However, sometimes we may feel like if we give something, we're gonna miss out. You see, and we might, instead of me, if I get this much out this little bankroll I got here, I ain't gonna have it, but you already got more than you need. That's what it's talking about. See, if you already got more than you need, don't get too tight. Don't give too much. That you become broke. But he says the best charity is when you in that state of that condition. He said the best charity is when you are tight. The best charity is when you are healthy. The best charity is when you are afraid of becoming broke. Why so? Because you have to work to give that. You have to really work on your heart. You have to really, and you got a whole lot of money. You understand? You filthy rich. If you're a multi-billionaire, it ain't nothing for you to get $100. Somebody. It's not for you. You see. But if you like the average of us, we stuffing. So it takes something, and we have to work on the move. We have to work on our sedur, what is inside of us, our heart, the God. You see, so that we can give. He said that's the best of charity. When you are healthy, you see, and you know that okay, more than likely, inshallah, if things go all right, I'm in good shape. I'll be here tomorrow. He says, don't delay it until the time you become sick or you're on your deathbed. You feel the rich now, you're on your deathbed, you got plenty of money. Now you want to start trying to give. He said, it's too late. So it's already go to the people. You ain't taking it, but you know how. You should have gave it when you was able. Not saying that you want to be rewarded for leaving something. But the Prophet said the superior charity is that which you give when you are in the best of conditions. And you are not as able as you normally would be. We're going to do this last one, and then we're going to bring this first part to a close. Narrated Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu. Rasulullah said, a man said that he would give something in charity. He went out with his object of charity and unknowingly gave it to a thief. On hearing that, he said, "Oh Allah, all praises and thanks are for you, and I will give again." He found out this dude was a thief. He said, "Oh Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala." He stopped. He said, I'm going to give again. So, he went out again with his arms and unknowingly gave it to an adulteress. Next morning, the people said that he'd given his money to an adulteress last night. The man said, "Ya Allah, all the praises and thanks are for you. I gave my alms to an adulteress. I will give alms again." So he went out with his alms again the next day. Unknowingly, he gave it to a rich person. The people the next morning said, "You gave your money to a rich person." He had given his alms to a wealthy person. He said, "Ya Allah, all praises and thanks are for you. I have given alms to a thief, to an adulteress, and to a wealthy man." Then someone came and said to him, "The alms which you gave to the thief might make him abstain from stealing. And that given to the adulteress might make her abstain from illegal sexual intercourse. And that given to the wealthy man, he might take a lesson from that and give his wealth, which Allah has given him, because the way of Allah." With that, all praises be to Allah, best guide. Allah who's al-God, free of all wants, al-Hamid, worthy of all praise. But he is also al-Muqni. He is the one who makes us rich. Not only is he rich, makes his service rich. Alhamdulillah. That will bring the first part to a close. I say it later. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له أشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله فإن خير الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, for very the best speech is the book of Allah, and the best guidance is Muhammad's guidance, and avoid every newly invented matter. He says, because every newly invented matter is bid'ah. Every bid'ah is misguidance, every misguidance is in the fire. For the second part of the khutbah, in a shortened this, inshallah. But we're going to touch on a topic that is very relevant today. Very, very, very relevant. Allah is the best guide. It comes from a hadith. I was reading a book. It was a book of hadith. It was a book about the prophecies of the Prophet Muhammad was a prophet. So he prophesied. He saw Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him to see things in the future, and he shared them with the people so that they could be on guard. They could check themselves. He shared this night with the people. And one of those prophecies, the Prophet ﷺ said, by him in whose hand lies my life, the world will not end until a time comes upon people when neither the murderer will know why he killed, nor the one murdered will know why he was killed. The Prophet ﷺ was asked, how would this occur? He replied, the world will be in turmoil. The murderer and the murdered both will go to the hell of fire. Now, this will be very relevant today. Today, the world is in turmoil. The world is in turmoil. Every day, you go to the newspaper, turn on the TV set, or travel through the community, you get some senseless violence, some senseless killing. It has become almost commonplace in our society today. Some people think it's a big thing to be a mass murderer. You see, the Prophet said the world will not come to an end until there will come a time when the people who are killing won't even know why they kill. They don't even know why they kill. You see, a young man killed a woman. I'm sure you're all familiar with this. It's been on the news, blasting and blasting. Allah have mercy upon you. He shot at the lady's boyfriend or companion. He shot at him and hit her and killed her, and she had a kid from the car and everything. So why you do that? But he stole a chain from me. He stole a chain from me. Now, I'm quite certain today, he said, why did I? what was I thinking about? Why did I do something that crazy? He had seen 1,001 other avenues he could have taken. And at the time he committed that murder, he didn't really know why he was killing. He wasn't killing for the chain. The chain wasn't worth. The necklace wasn't worth. He was fueled by something. 9 times out of 10 people don't know why. Because I see it on the news, I see it, I hear it. You see, I hear it in the songs, I hear it in the rap music, I hear about the so and so. And we ride on our enemies. You see. And so we saddle up and we ride and we spread out and we don't know why we doing this foolishness. We don't even know why. We have come to a point where if somebody says something on Facebook, the first thing a pistol is grabbed. Somebody needs to be killed because somebody said something. Not to you, they said on Facebook. You see, the person who got killed, you don't know. You know, I said something on Facebook and I'm winding up. I'm in the car. I'm in the grave. Why? Military. War start, conflict start. It's been going on for time. Guy get in the army, Marine, hey, whatever country he in. He gets in to serve his country. The country say we go into war with such and such and such. And you go over there, you've been trained to kill, and you go over and you kill. You don't know why he killed that person here. All you know, they told him. You see, I've gotten into countless dialogues with people, you know, and this starts from something like this on the social media. Somebody say, well, what about Muhammad Ali? He was a good fighter. I'll be like, it's coward. He would go to Vietnam and all that. It's coward. Understand me? Worst person that lived. So I said, well, I don't think he was coward. He dropped out. And now he dropped out. He stood up in front of the whole world. I seen it on the TV in front of the whole world. When he went to the draft board, everybody was there. The media, everybody. He said, I'm not going, you understand me? I'm not going to kill somebody in another land that I don't know, and they don't know me. And I have no reason to kill them. And they have no reason to kill me. So, you know, put the cuffs on me and tell me in prison. I wouldn't bother that. He faced the music. But in the conversation with these people, I said, they said, well, I went to Vietnam. I said, why? Do you know why you went to Vietnam? Do you know why they were dropping this napalm on these people? You see, they say the American lives in that conflict, America lost like 55,000, close to 60,000 soldiers in that conflict. Vietnamese people lost 4.5 million. This man dropping that napalm out that plane, he don't know the people, he don't know what's gonna get on, who he killing. He don't know why he killing them, but they don't know why they died. He don't know why they people killing us. He don't know why he killed them, they don't know why they died. Somebody told us. So they said, yeah, we're defending the country. I said, defending the country, the Vietnamese that came over here. I said, guess what? The Vietnamese won the war. Technically speaking. He ran America out of there. I said, now since they won the war, I watched on TV the day when the war was over. Somebody gonna get mad at me when they see this. Like I'm non-patriotic. But I have family members who are veterans who went to Vietnam. It's made great, fantastic sacrifices. And I honor them for but they was misguided too. But the day when the tanks rolled into Saigon, they circled around the capital, they pointed, and they lowered the South Vietnamese flag and lowered the North Vietnamese flag. They changed this name of the city from Saigon to Ho Chi Minh City. See what I'm saying? And today, Vietnam and came over to America and did nothing. They were never trying to come over here and do nothing. See, so those people, my relatives too, who were misguided into this killing, into this fighting, they were misguided into that. They don't know why they was killing. They know somebody told them, you signed up, and this is what you got to do. As a patriot, you understand me? That's what I'm going to run off and go and do. Prophet Sallallahu said, there'll come a time when the people, the murderer and the one who got murdered, both of them go to hell. Why is that? Because a lot of times, the one who did the killing, okay, he's going to hell fight because it was unjustified. It was an unjustified murder, unless Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives him. See, I'm not saying he's going to hell, so I say there's a potentiality. Now, none of us can say who's going to hell and who's not. Allah forgive me. I don't want that to be what I'm saying. But the Bible said, out of these groups now, somebody's going to hell fight. He said there'll be a time when the one killed and the one who did the killing will both go. Why? Because the one who got killed, his intention was to do the same thing. You see? So that's kind of what I'm judging by the intention. There's a lot of senseless killing going on here. Gangs and stuff. People started, if we go back, if we sat down and we traced it back to why the gang violence has become so intense nowadays, and we trace it back, okay, by now, so-and-so they killed so-and-so who's from kin to me, or was and he was tight with me, and so now I'm doing it, we just gonna keep escalating. But if we just trace back from the first time, we'll find out it started over back. So we out here really doing things we don't know. I'm saying that to you, brothers and sisters. I'm saying that to the listening audience because the Prophet has told us we are going to be facing. He said the world will be in turmoil. We need to step up, and we need to talk to our youth. You see, we need to talk to our youth. I was in the house one Sunday, and I came out of my room, and one of my roommates said, "Hey man, there's a lot of shooting just went on. Did you hear that?" I said, "No, I didn't hear that." So I went to the door and I looked out, and I saw everybody looking in one direction. So I got in my car. I was going somewhere anyway, but I got in my car and I drove over there. That was one of the neighbors laying out in the yard dead. Every time I passed by there in spot, it was so much life and so much activity going on there. They used to get out with the kids, and it's like a vacant lot in front of the house, in front of their house. They had put up a basketball goal on the street, and they'll be out there playing ball. They'll be practicing with the kids, football, baseball, getting ready for the season to start. And there's a lot of life going on there since they're killing nothing's happened. Nothing. I saw the kids out there one time since then. It's a ghost town. Killing was senseless. You see, killing was senseless. Prophet said the world would be in turmoil. We're doing things now, and we don't even know why. People are dying now, and they don't even know why. People are going off into business establishments. They're going into shopping places. They're going, and they just opening fire. People got them on to go to work, put in a day, come home. They got in their car to go shopping, pick up a few items, and come home. Didn't nobody got killed. What did I do? There was a young brother a couple of weeks ago. He used to play football. He was y'all probably seen that account. He used to play football. He played for the Jets, and then he went to some other teams. And he went to the doctor's house. Killed the doctor's wife, grandchildren, and everybody. Killed about 6 people. And they said the doctor was well known in his community, a small community, I think, in North Carolina somewhere. That's where he was originally from. They said the doctor was well known, he was a pillar of the community. They said, but you know what? Say this guy here never went to the doctor. He never had no ties with this doctor. Said, but his father did. His father went to the doctor. So they interviewed his father and asked him, well, what thing? He said, I don't know what happened. He said he was a good kid. He said, I think it was the football, the concussions, the steroids, and what have you, and the pressure See, there's so much pressure in the society now that it's sending people over the edge. And we have that whisper of evil, the one who withdraws after his whisper. He whispers in the hearts of men and jinn alike. He whispers these evil suggestions. He says, no, you don't have to take that. Pick up you something and do something. You don't have to take that. And the people are being pushed over the edge because of this pressure. Pressure busts pipe. You see. But we the believers, alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, patiently persevere through anything that comes upon you. So we have something here. This day, Allah makes Muslims. We've all been blessed. Because we don't have to get pushed over the edge. We don't get pushed over the edge. He says, subhanallah. He says, subhanallah. Allah knows best. Offer the 2 rakats. We liquid, come into the company of the believers. And we move forward. But it's even coming into our society, into the Muslim society. So we need to start working with each other, talking to each other, and opening up more and talking. I have a friend, he's not Muslim. He used to call me, a lot of times. He called me. He'd get to the point, I was getting aggravated. And sometimes I hit the phone and say, oh man, it's too cold, I ain't got time. And I would answer the phone sometimes. And then one day we were talking, and he was telling me about the times when he thought about suicide. Stuff like that. So I guess you know, whenever you call, answer the phone. Answer the phone. See, he was telling me about the pressures he was under. And every time we would talk, he would say, thank you for answering the phone. Talking to me. Brothers and sisters, we the believers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen us as the best of mankind. He has chosen us to be his vicegerent over this earth. He has chosen us as his Khalifa. He has chosen us to be the peacemaker. He has chosen us to be the leaders in the society. We the believers. Let's step up. Assume our position. Let's step up. We're here to make this world a better world and hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with our efforts. Inshallah. Ya Allah. Forgive me, my brothers and sisters, for getting a little emotional. Ya Allah. Thank you, Allah, for blessing us, choosing us in this. Oh Allah, you are the cherished sustainer of all the world. You are our cherished sustainer. You are our rock. We're forever in need of you and ever dependent upon you. Oh Allah, please continue your favors upon us and continue to guide us. Oh Allah, we thank you for your holy prophet who brought to us things that you gave him to leave with us, those 2 great things, your Quran and his Sunnah. Oh Allah, make us the people of the Quran, the people of the Sunnah. The Prophet said, make us the best that we can be. Oh Allah, forgive us our sins. Guide us through this month of Ramadan. Oh Allah, help us to cleanse that which is inside of us. Oh Allah, help us, guide us aright. Oh Allah, bless us to keep this fast and you find favor with us. Help us move like this.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي صلاة حي حي إقامة الصلاة إقامة الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Let's start. Let's straighten out our ranks. Keep them tight. At the same time, let's focus. Brother was talking today about the dam. He was talking about the dam with Allah, the manners, the good manners. He says, good manners with Allah. He says, when you enter the masjid, it's to enter in a state of humility and keep your eyes downcast. Out of respect and love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's how we come to our prayer. Focus on your place of sujood. Making somebody's door may be your last, or your God knows me out. Lord, Akbar. Alhamdulillah, الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين والتين والزيتون وطور سنين وحفظ الله العظيم لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم ثم رددنا أسفل سافلين إلى الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم عدل غير ممنون وما تبعدوا بعد إصلاحكم منها الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين إن أتبعوكم فاصل لربي وانها إن شانئك هو الأبتر قل والله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام Our chairman, Brother Richard Muhammad, is going to come make some announcements, inshallah. So if you would, hang tight for a minute or two, and we'll see what our chairman has for us today, inshallah. Thank everybody for coming out. May Allah bless you all and accept your prayer. May Allah guide us through this month of Ramadan. It's the best of deeds for us. Best of time.
Assalamu alaikum. I'd like to welcome you to Masjid Al-Nasr. My name is Brother Richard. I'm the chairperson here at Masjid Al-Nasr. I'd like to start off by saying, opening up in the name of Allah, the Beneficent and Merciful. I thank Allah for being here at this happy Jumu'ah today. And I give you the greetings of Ramadan Mubarak. And I also like to thank Allah for his prophet, Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and all the prophets that came in the divine name of Allah. I also like to thank Brother Tahid for a wonderful khutbah on charity and the purpose of charity, and as a reminder to the believers why we give in charity. So I'd like to thank you, Brother Tahid, for that wonderful message. And I want to make a few announcements to start off at first. We located here at 905 East Skagway, Tampa, Florida. We do this Blessed Jumu'ah every Friday, if it be Allah's will. You can catch us on Facebook, YouTube, Masjid Al-Nasr Outreach. So please go back and review and make comments if you like, if it pleases Allah. The next announcement that we have our food pantry here every Saturday from 1 to 3. We're still continuing doing the month of Jumu'ah. If you want to come out and volunteer and be a part of it, please do. Once again, we're at 905 East Skagway, Tampa, Florida, 33604. We're here every Saturday, feeding the needy and giving in charity. If you need food, if you don't need food, still come by and be a part of it as we build this program. The next announcement I'd like to make, we're going to have iftar here tomorrow night to break fast here at Masjid Al-Nasr. You're more than welcome to come and participate in prayer and feeding. We'll be here at Jumuah Prayer, a little bit before Jumuah Prayer, and we'll be breaking fast here for those who want to come. So I think that covers all the announcements. I leave you as I came in the greeting words. Assalamu alaikum.